It was a road he'd never driven before, a long, winding shortcut that Google Maps promised would shave an hour off his journey home. Alex was already exhausted, his eyes gritty from staring at the hypnotic white lines for hours. The moon was a sickly yellow sliver, offering little light. Around 2 a.m., he saw the lights of the toll plaza up ahead. It seemed odd. The road was ancient, cracked asphalt and faded paint. Not the kind of place you'd expect a modern toll. As he got closer, he saw it was just a single dilapidated booth, the wood warped and peeling. A single bare bulb flickered overhead, casting long, dancing shadows. There was no barrier arm, no electronic sensors, just the booth and a sign with a single word painted in what looked like rust. Toll. He slowed, expecting to see an attendant, but the booth was empty. A small metal bucket was bolted to the side. Confused, but wanting to do the right thing, he tossed a few quarters into it. They landed with a hollow clink. He drove on, shaking his head at the strangeness of it. A few miles later, his car sputtered and died. The gas gauge, which had read nearly half full, was now on empty. Cursing his luck, he called for a tow truck, the wait stretching into an hour of unnerving silence on the empty road. A month later, driving back from another late-night business trip, he found himself on the same shortcut. He'd forgotten about the strange toll booth until he saw its flickering light in the distance. This time he was prepared. He pulled up, got out, and dropped a $5 bill into the bucket. "There," he said to the empty night, "that should cover the gas." He got back in his car and drove on. He was about 10 miles down the road when his phone buzzed. It was a photo memory notification. The picture on his screen was of him and his golden retriever, Buster, who had been his best friend for 12 years.
Gather close to the fire and listen. I'll spin a tale for you, one that's best told when the woods are dark and the only light is the dancing flame in front of us. This is a story about something that lives in the deep, quiet parts of the forest. Something you should pray you never hear. The four of them thought the old man at the bait shop was just trying to spook a group of city kids. Liam, Maya, Chloe, and Ben had been coming to these woods to camp since they were freshmen in college, and they'd never heard a single ghost story about the place. "You'll want to be back in your tents before the moon is high," the old man had rasped, his voice thin as dried leaves. "This forest, it gets talkative at night. You hear a whistle, you don't go looking. It ain't a bird, and it ain't a person. You just cover your ears and feed the fire." They had laughed about it on the trail, of course. Ben, ever the skeptic, had even started whistling a jaunty tune, which earned him a playful shove from Chloe. Their campsite was perfect. A small clearing circled by ancient moss-covered pines with a stream gurgling nearby. As dusk settled, they got the fire crackling, the flames spitting sparks into the deepening twilight. They roasted marshmallows, told jokes, and the old man's warning became a running gag. "Hear that?" Liam would whisper dramatically. "The whistler is coming for our s'mores." It was Maya who heard it first. They had fallen into a comfortable silence, staring into the hypnotic dance of the fire, when she sat up straight. "Did you guys hear that?" she asked, her voice hushed. "Hear what?" Ben mumbled, poking the logs with a stick. A faint, high-pitched note drifted through the trees. It was a simple, two-note whistle, like someone calling for a dog. It was so faint they almost missed it. "It's just a bird, May," Liam said, though he looked a little uneasy. The whistle came again, a little closer this time. It was melodic, almost beautiful, but there was something unsettling about it, something that made the hairs on their arms stand up. The forest, which had been alive with the chirping of crickets and the rustle of unseen things, was now utterly silent. "Okay, that's weird," Chloe said, pulling her blanket tighter around her shoulders. "It's